I'm 23 years old. I'm 23. Not a lot of people believe that I'm 23. I know in the west of Scotland, this is what a young guy looks like in this day and age. I'm 23. I look like a darts prodigy, don't I? I'm 23, so I'm getting to that stage. Some of my friends, some of my cousins are having children. And that way, you'll notice this in a family gathering. There's a newborn baby getting passed around somebody's living room like a joint. And everybody's saying their piece. You know, some people who have just got this natural rapport when they speak to babies, they can just go, "Oh, look at you." And the baby starts mumbling, "Are you telling me a wee story?" It's getting closer and closer to me and I'm thinking, shit. I need to pretend I give a fuck. And it gets to me and I just kind of freeze. I'm going, how you doing, mate? Then the baby feels the tension, starts to cry. Everybody looks at me as if I'm in the wrong here. Oh, toughen up, you wee prick. I've stopped boozing as much, right? I still drink, but I've stopped drinking as much, because that is another thing I discovered. As soon as you turn 30, the fear of a hangover eclipses the joy of a night out, right? Teenagers, 20s, you see a tray of Jaeger bombs arrive, you see a good night ahead. 30s, you see a tray of suicidal thoughts in the morning arrive. That is the harsh reality of the aging process. You drink a couple of these, you know the next day is going to be spent on your couch, putting on Come Dine With Me, just for some company, just to have people there, just reassuring voices. You're not even watching it, you're just staring at it, occasionally paying attention, and then some old guy undercooks a beef Wellington and it's just too much. You've got a lump in your throat. There's a fucking tear is trickling down your face as you're getting hit like a freight train with pangs of guilt about trivial shit that happened years ago. He's just fucked up. The old guy's just fucked up. He's just fucked up his beef Wellington. He only wanted to make everybody a nice dinner and he's totally ruined it. His starter looked amazing and then he just totally fucking... Why did they try a beef Wellington? It's quite a hard dish to make. And that voice perks up. That's that, Kev, you piece of shit. Remember, your mum used to make you a packed lunch every day, Kev, even though you just put it in the bin and went to the chip van. Remember, Kev? 4 years that went on. Every morning she was making you sandwiches, even though they were just going in your phone her, Kev. I'm sorry, phone her, Kev. Phone your mum, Kev. I'm going to phone her. I'm going to phone her. Before you know it, you're dialing Mum Mo. Mum, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for every time you made me a packed lunch. And I was just putting it in the... Kevin, where are you? Are you on something, Kevin? Have you... Your mum thinks you're a junkie, Kev. She thinks you're a junkie. Junkie boy. Junkie. That is a hangover. 30s onwards. Going to the bathroom every 20 minutes, shitting out bits of yourself you need to keep. That's what you've got to look forward to. That was announced, not a shock statistic about teenage pregnancy. Apparently 1 in 3 15-year-olds in the UK admit to being sexually active. That was a shock tabloid headline. I don't know where they get this kind of evidence. No, I don't know who they ask to get these statistics. No, if some youth worker approached you when you were 15 years old in front of all your pals and asked you if you were sexually active. You're doing fucking right, mate. Who's Shagger? Put me in for 5, pal.
Did we never get any sex education at school? Remember word would spread when you were 15, if you went to the health centre, they gave you out condoms. That was good, you went down there, got the health centre, got your condoms. None of us were well sexed, but you got the condoms. Filled them up with water. They become water balloons. Using a condom in a water fight, the thinking man's water fight. But you'd always have one of your friends who would take it a bit too far and introduce a Durex Extra Safe. A Durex Extra Safe in a water fight, you'll fucking put somebody in a coma. A Durex ribbed Extra Safe. You'll need facial reconstructions. Finding a porno in a head. It's that kind of coming of age moments that shape you as a person. I don't know if I can reminisce about much at 23 years old, but I like to reminisce about the 90s, the good old days. Back when it was just the PlayStation 2 and stuff like that. Remember when you get your first taste of independence, when word had spread in your school that somebody's mum and dad were going away for the weekend and that the guy or girl were having a party. They never knew they were having a party. Perhaps having is the wrong choice of word. They were getting a party. I don't mean the kind of high school parties that you see in American movies. Hey, do you guys know Chad Hogan? Yeah, of course, man. Everybody knows Chad Hogan, man. Chad Hogan's mom and dad are going away to Long Island for the weekend, man. There's a party at Chad Hogan's mom and dad's. Yeah, woo! Spring break, yeah! Chad Hogan's parties are awesome, man, woo! Then it shows you Chad Hogan's party. Chad Hogan's booked a band for his living room. Great party, Chad. Woo, yeah. Let's go get some dip and chip. Woo. Everybody's nodding to the music with these plastic cups of beer that nobody knows who brought them. Just, whoa, yeah, woo. It's on the kind of parties we had. We never had that kind of parties. We never had spring break. We had the Easter holidays. When I was growing up, it was called an empty. An empty. It derives from, we've got an empty house. We've got an empty. The house is empty. It's an empty. Now, you never had spring break. Or Chad Hogan or bands at an empty. An empty was a far more tense affair. Somebody's furious cousin would disrupt the ambience by announcing that he'd purchased 12 cans, drank 2, gave 1 away, but there's only 7 left. I get asked last week what kind of music do you like, Kev? I don't know. I don't have a fucking clue. What kind of music? Modern stuff just sounds the same to me. Just everything's just all that R&B stuff we like these days, isn't it? In the club, all that sort of stuff. Everybody in the club, in the club. That's the way every song sounds to me. In the club, in the club, in the club. They just speak in a language I don't get. Everybody gonna shuffle on down in the club. We're getting freaky in the club. I'm feeling sexy in the club, in the club, in the club, in the club, in the club. DJ spinning my song in the club, in the club. Everything happens in this club with these pricks, innit? In the club. We ain't gonna stop till it's time to start again. In the club, in the club, in the club, in the club. No songs that just make you feel thick. You actually feel it deleting cookies in your brain. In the club, in the club, in the club, in the club. The song finishes and you think, fucking hell, I now know less stuff. I've just forgot the difference between a pastoral and an arable farm. fuck did I just forget standard grade geography there because of that song? In the club. Even their names, Will I Am. That guy, how do you get to that stage in your celebrity status? Will I Am. His name is William. You just decide to start putting full stops in the middle. Will I Am. If I was to request to be known as Kev I.N., I'd get a fucking slap in the face. If I was to sit my dad down and say, Dad, I'm thinking about reinventing myself as Kev I.N., he'd be saying, just run that by me again, son. Right, step outside, talk me through this.
See, people are people, I believe. Right, I don't judge anybody for their class. Right, I don't mean to be a reverse snob. Right, this is a new expression I learned when you mock the upper middle classes. They're just different people from what I'm used to. I was walking my dog, right? This is when I like to eavesdrop. I was walking my dog through my neighbourhood and I heard a school kid, boasting about being the best swimmer in his school. Right, he was boasting to his mates about being the best swimmer, as though that carried some form of playground clout to be regarded as the best swimmer at school. He's going, everyone knows, it's me for a fact. Ask anybody in the school who the best swimmer is. I guarantee they'll say me, I'm the best swimmer. It's just a fact. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows it's me, it's just a fact. And I was walking away, contemplating, did I know the best swimmer at my school? And I came to the conclusion, no, because it was irrelevant, right? It was never a means with which to forge yourself a reputation, right? That was done through being good at football, being good at fighting, or being fucking mental, right? Those were the three accepted forms of currency. Football, fighting, or bouncing a Bunsen burner off a supply teacher's Ford Fiesta. That's how you earned respect in a working class school. Never did I witness anybody strip to their Speedos shouting, fucking come on, I'll take you a length then. What? Name your stroke, mate, name your stroke. I'll get my dad down here to butterfly every fucking one of you. And it made me look back on my own upbringing. That's what parenthood does. It makes you realise more than ever how much your childhood shapes the person you become. And I look back at my own school life, right? I was shite at football. I was not particularly mental. I never knew how to fight. I certainly never knew how to fight. Right? I was in a couple of fights at school. I lost them all heavily. But I was at school at a time where a bit of bullying in moderation could be beneficial for your character development. Right, once you've been beat up a couple of times, there's life lessons there. There you go, Kev. You don't know how to fight, so stay out of fights. And I have carried that aversion to confrontation well into my adult life. And I've realised that can leave you vulnerable, because especially when you become a parent, you need to learn to stand up for yourself within reason, right? Especially amongst the upper middle classes, because they can be very confrontational people, because they don't necessarily associate confrontation with violence. Now, I'll give you an example, right? I live in an apartment, right, and I've got one upstairs neighbour, and I used to have a bike, and I kept the bike at the door of my apartment rather than bringing it inside, just out of convenience. And I never knew this was irritating the upstairs dude until one evening he came to my door to ask me to bring my bike inside my apartment because, in his words, it was ruining the aesthetic of the communal hallway. Now, that is a guy who has never been punched in the fucking face. That is a guy who has never been dragged from a moving dodgem and leathered at the Christmas and New Year carnival. He does not come from a world where he sees how that could easily turn ugly, to go to somebody's door to ask them to move their bike from their door. If I was to go to somebody's door with such a request, I would be fully prepared for physical combat. I would assemble a bit of backup beforehand, draft in a few cousins. Aye, it's his door, mate. Aye, his bike. Because he's fucking ruining the aesthetic of the communal hallway. I could have stood up for myself in that situation. I could have said, mate, it's my bike, it's my door. I could have fought prick with prick. But because in my childhood, I apologised to the guy. I said sorry, and I brought the bike inside, and I closed the door. When that man shuffled off back up the stairs, having won, right, and I closed the door, and it's just me and my bike, and the door's shut, that's when it becomes an issue, because the voices in there. The voices in there become like a pop-up virus. Fucking pathetic, Kev. Absolutely embarrassing. That was tough to watch, Kev. Fucking... Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me just bring the bike inside. Sorry for your inconvenience. Kev, get a new bike if that's the way you're going to be. Get a wee basket on the front, Kev. That's the kind of bike you should get. Get some ribbons on the handlebars, Kev. Get a wee bell. Ding, ding, here comes Big Kev. That's it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Kev, get a wee Bichon Frise and stick it in the basket when you go for a cycle, Kev. And that is the psychology of men, because those minor defeats, they stay on a file somewhere in there. You believe you've deleted those cookies, but they stay in there. That is why men lose the fucking plot with wireless printers and broadband routers. Because the minute they feel uptight and frustrated, every minor defeat they have ever accepted replays like a montage, a compilation in there. You'll be trying to pair a Bluetooth speaker in front of your whole family on Christmas Day. Device not recognised. You're clicking and clicking. Everybody sees you're starting to get freaked out, and then they start trying to help. Kevin, have you tried moving it further away? Oh, sometimes the Bluetooth, it can actually be too close. I read that somewhere. Kevin, is it updated? Does it need an update, perhaps? Kevin, have you tried turning it off and then back on again? You fucking literally just seen me trying that! Oh my God, Kevin, we don't need music that badly. It's not about the music. It's about that prick in 2019 that made me move my bike to my fucking door. I'm a coward. I'm a coward. I'm trying to look after myself. I've lost a bit of weight as well. I've tried. Thank you. I lost weight before. What was that? Oh, what did you shout? If I get a fucking lazy eye, it was clearly somebody there and it's just moved. You shouted up the Celtic. Right. That's good, but was that... Why did you just shout that randomly? Just in connection to weight loss? What's your name, sir? Killian. Is that the name here in Cork? Killian. Where are you from, Killian?
I'm from the north.
You're from the north. You're from the north. As in the north of Ireland or the north of Cork? I just need to know how much we've zoomed in on the Google map here. The north of this city or this country? The country, all right, fucking relax, mate. Wow, that's an accent, isn't it? The fucking country.